Yeah. 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 Oh, jeez. You're muted.
Welcome to our fourth episode of the Second String Podcast, Sports Talk Podcast. I'm your host, Johnny Barks, where we speculate from the sidelines. And to my right is one and only Brian Burgers. How are we doing today, Brian?
Pretty good. I just ate really fast.
Really?
Now I don't feel very good. So,
That's
pretty good.
Nice. I'll try to get Packers in the background. I just ate Culver's, and I ate it a little too fast as well. But those cheese curds were very, very yummy. We are not sponsored by Culver's, but we will take your sponsorship in the future. All right, what we got going on today? We're just straight, no cold open, just straight to the show today.
Yeah, we're going right into it. So,
right into it.
Well, we got some fun personal updates from our home league. We had a three-way trade, Johnny, that you were a part of. It was between me, you, and our good friend Marcus, also known as Mizzou Freak 719. So, shout out to Mr. Marcus, Mizzou Freak, and he was first, so he commented first. So thanks, Marcus.
Thank you, Marcus. Yeah, I'll go over it here if I can share my screen. My screen will load. I basically very aggressive moves on both of our ends. And I think Marcus got a very good value for an Aaron Jones. Basically, it's come down to me just kind of coming to grips with a unsuccessful strategy to begin the season.
Right.
With my no receivers, no running back strategy. And then basically, I mean, honestly, it's kind of so my situation is I traded for Cordell Patterson. He got hurt. I traded for Damian Harris. He got hurt. And then it looks like Stevenson's going to be the lead back in that New England backfield. So basically at this point, I kind of just kind of keep throwing shit at the wall until something sticks. And Aaron Jones, I wanted something seemed like a sure hit if I'm going to give up Mike Evans and more. And so that's what I did. I went all out for an Aaron Jones, and it worked out in the three-way trade because you wanted – who did you want again? You wanted one Mike Williams?
Yeah, I wanted Mike Williams or Mike Evans. I was really okay with either one, knowing that I just needed a wide receiver for down the stretch. I would have preferred Mike Evans, but I also yeah, I'm actually in control of her YouTube channel right now, so that was all me. That's embarrassing.
You accidentally did that? That's funny.
But I wanted Mike Evans or Mike Williams, and obviously would have preferred Mike Evans, but it's I was glad I got him because I basically gave up Brian Robinson and Terry McLaurin for Mike Williams, who, if he's healthy in the next 3-4 weeks, I think that was worth it. But with the disparity of wide receivers in our league.
Yeah, the problem I have now is my Week 14 matchup is going to be a big problem. I was ready to give up on both Aaron Jones and Brian Robinson because I noticed that they have the same bye week as Henderson, or not Henderson, the other running back. They have the same bye week as Cordell Patterson, I'm sorry, who should be healthy by Week 14, obviously. And so I'm going to have a good time in a couple weeks. So
Week 14 is a bye week for all three of those guys.
Yes.
And is that a championship or a playoff?
No, that's 2 games away from so that's the second to last game of this regular season for us.
Okay.
So week 15 will be the last one, so then we have week 16 and 17 and then week 18 is the null week that obviously a lot of starters are sitting anyways. So
yeah.
Well, yeah. Interesting trade for us. Can you? I guess you already explained kind of the strategy and thought into Mike Williams, so I guess we can just move on.
I did want to show this clip. I thought it was hilarious. The Bills social media team is amazing this year. So they submitted this clip last week, and my friend Steven shared it with me. So why don't we just roll the clip from their Instagram?
Be careful.
Oh, I just got passed by a Prius.
He is an elite, and he got that dog.
Want to take any guesses as to what that might be?
iPod Shuffle?
But what the hell, boy?
What do you got in that bag? Hold on.
All pissing in the same Coke bottle.
Bruh.
That's all. That is a seamless soup, though, honestly.
Yeah.
That gives me flashbacks to college, and that's all I'm gonna say about that. Ron, I'm sorry you came into that. It was Brian's idea. I don't know where your dogs are, Brian, but they might make an appearance if you stick around.
This is a dog chat.
Speaking of the dogs, who are your dogs for this week, man? You got some choices for me? Which dogs I should pick?
Yeah, so we're gonna do the this or that segment where we do Johnny has to choose between one or the other, sit or start, and then we'll sort of jump into sort of a goofy segment where we ask who would you rather do XYZ with. So all right, so Johnny, why don't you start off with real quick, Chuba or Dante Foreman?
Chuba missed practice again today from what I saw. So I think Foreman's the easy answer there. Unfortunately, as much as it hurts to say.
Okay.
Because I have Chuba, obviously, and you have Foreman.
You say Chuba, I say Chuba.
Chupacabra.
Okay, so Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers? Again, this is the battle of ass. Who do you pick?
I'm biased, but I would pick Aaron Rodgers this week as a starter sit option. They're going to be, as much as it's the Bills are going to be running the ball. They want to tire out that defense like the defense has been tired. They want to control the game. I think the Packers are going to be having to fight back. It's going to be one of those throw in to keep himself in the game. Could be a classic Aaron Rodgers game. Even though I just trade for Aaron Jones, he might only get 8 carries again. We'll see what happens.
Okay. Sam Bellinger or Bellinger, I don't know how to pronounce that, or Taylor Heineke.
Heineke is I don't know. He's not a very good fantasy producer but I think he's the other option here. I think that he has better. I haven't seen anything, but I would never start a first NFL quarter. He's basically a rookie. He's what, 4th or 5th round. I wouldn't start him ever in his first NFL start, even in a bad Colts offense, especially. So I'll go with Heineke. I kind of like Heineke. Cool underdog story. Let him win over the Packers. So I have to give him credit.
All right. So we got Josh Reynolds on the Lions or Marquise Godwin on the considering that DK is out. I think that's still a thing. On the Seahawks, Marquise Godwin had a pretty good game last week. So who do you put in, Josh Reynolds or Marquise?
Yeah, I like Goodwin. He seems to have a connection with Geno, and 2 touchdowns last week. Didn't only get like five or 6 targets, I think. But
okay,
my computer is sending ridiculous notifications right now.
All right. So how do we feel about
sooner? Ron Rivera or a different head coach? Is that what you asked?
Yeah, so who gets fired sooner, Ron Rivera or any other head coach?
I don't think anyone gets a hot take. I could be very wrong. I don't think anyone else gets fired this year before the end of the season. Because I think most of the people on the hot seat you have Nathaniel Hackett even, but if they're going to fire him, they'll wait until the least of the season.
Sure.
You have I had these listed out. Josh McDaniels, even I think he could be one and done, but they'd wait till the end of the season again. Yeah, everyone else probably didn't see. I think
the other one was Colts. Is it Frank Reich?
That's who the guy. Even him, I think they'll at least give it in this season, unless there's a guy on the team they want to like see if he can have a chance. But I don't think that. Yeah, everyone else. I think there might only be. I mean, Matt Rule was the only one that pretty much for sure is going to happen unless the Panthers have like a playoff run.
All right.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
We got my questions. So, who would you rather have as your high school teacher? Coming into this question, we have Aaron Rodgers going on to Pat McAfee saying, "Oh, I mean, everyone's to blame. I can take some blame too, but my coach, my QB coach, said based on his grades, he gave me a good grade this game, so I'm okay with that." But no. So speaking of grades, would you rather have Aaron Rodgers as your high school teacher, as like a social studies teacher, history teacher, or Mike McCarthy?
Jeez, you always focus on these Packers people, and it makes me sick.
I know. I like to make you choose.
So, I feel like Mike McCarthy is like a stereotypical gym teacher.
Yeah.
Where,
yeah, that's a good one. That's a good.
And then I feel like Aaron Rodgers is sort of like a teacher that's about to retire, or he's given up. His attitude is just given up, and that was before he was bad at football.
It's like a sub that thinks that people are going to take himself seriously.
Right, exactly. That's a good point. So, I feel like you can get away with more with Aaron Rodgers, but you'd probably have a little bit better of like one-liners with Mike McCarthy. I would argue. I mean, even though we don't have a lot of content from Mike McCarthy, I still think he'd probably be a good, like, solid, insult to your face, person. But yeah, I would say Mike McCarthy is a teacher. Yeah.
1 second. All right. I just want to turn my email is being weird, and now I was uneasy about sharing the screen for some time if I need to. All right, moving on.
You're subscribed to?
No, like it was my mail app. It was sending me like notification after. It was like it was you were in it too. It was like Gus Bus 2.0 propose a trade to you from like 3 days ago. I lost the Google Doc as well. Where are we at? Why don't you take us?
You asked me who would make a better coach in real life, Adam Sandler or Kevin James?
Or Kevin James? Yeah.
Yeah. So a coach, like we're talking playing a sport coach, definitely.
Yeah, like your high school, like a high school. The typical sports movie that comes out every year.
Yeah.
About a coach.
Kevin James would be a good like elementary school coach, like bitty basketball.
Well, I asked that because they kind of have both titled in that drop. Basically, okay, if you were directing a movie, who would you want as your lead? Who do you think you would make a better movie with?
Oh, Adam. I think Adam Sandler would be better. Oh, here we go. Really, Evan?
We'll pray for him later. Hang around.
Yeah, we'll come back to that, Evan. I think Adam Sandler would be better. I mean, he's got a ton of credits, movie credits, where he's working with kids, and he's hilarious. You can talk about like Billy Madison,
Bedtime Stories,
Click, a great movie. What's that one with he's Big Daddy? Is that was what it's called? I mean, the list goes. I already said Billy Madison, but the list goes on. So I think Adam Sandler has a good rapport with kids in movies, and it's very funny. And I think he'd be a good coach. Like he'd be like the coach that was like almost like a Bad News Bears coach, like kind of an alcoholic.
Exactly. No, yeah. He got to legit do that though.
Yeah.
All right. Next, Matthew McConaughey or Denzel Washington?
As a coach,
who would you rather have? Yes.
As a coach. Okay. I don't know. I feel like I'm split because I feel like I'd go with Denzel Washington. Like Matthew McConaughey would add no energy. I feel like with the coaching, I feel like he'd be super chill. and I'd want
He's
somebody
had-
that get that fire.
He's
in
had
me.
plenty of like epic speeches for the Texas Longhorns, though. That's what he's known for. There's like a video that he voices like a motivational video every year for someone.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, why don't we
There's some
pull that
good
up? Why don't we pull one of those up and we'll come back to it if you want at the end.
Okay.
Um,
If we have time.
yeah. So I guess that's our this or that segment. Why don't we pull up Evan's prayer?
I don't think he's here anymore.
That's
But
all right.
We'll pray for him anyways because God still hears our prayers.
I appreciate your prayers. My girlfriend isn't a Christian, and I have Brees Hall and Jamar Chase.
Dear Father, dear waiver wire gods, dear all gods, we are universalists during this time. We pray that you, Evan, can find a replacement for these irreplaceable players. And this is a hefty task, but we also pray for quick healing of Jamar Chase and Brees Hall. May he return well next year. May Evan draft him in a reasonable position and he thrive again like he once was. But until then, we ask all in your name.
And before you say amen,
Oh.
I pray for the exact opposite of what you just said. I pray that he loses and doesn't get any good waiver wire pickups because he's in third or fourth place and I'm in first. And we put this in your name, amen. Okay.
I was going to scare you. Make you think I left.
A weird sacrilegious segment.
I
Okay.
I don't feel guilty about that, but you probably do. Oh, this
All
thing
right.
in football history. I realized I forgot to download the video for mine, but we'll just talk about it. So, what's yours?
October 27th, 2019, the 49ers beat the Panthers 51-13. Pretty high scoring game. Without looking, Johnny, I want you to guess who scored 4 touchdowns in that game.
What year was this? You said 2019?
2019.
So this was Cam's last year. I'm going to guess Cam.
The 49ers, Cam.
Oh, the 49ers beat the Panthers. I'm sorry. I'm going to go with.
You're like, who was on that team?
Debo was a rookie. I'm going to go with Debo. I don't think I would have known about that, but I know
That's
it's not
incorrect. I'll give you another guess. One more guess.
This is a Miller Lite rule. I'm sorry. I don't drink that much trash. I'm only a little trashy. One more guy. Who was it Ayuk? That was Ayuk because that was the season Ayuk went off. It was like his rookie season, and they thought he was like crazy good, but he didn't do that great.
Yeah, well, both those answers are wrong.
Oh.
It was Tevin Coleman. Scored 4 touchdowns.
Of course it was. I knew that. That was my third guess, obviously.
Yeah, and here's the crazy part. So, I'd have to remember because I don't have the link to it, but I believe he scored like 3 in the first half, and I want to say like Christian McCaffrey scored the only touchdown on the Panthers team, but yeah, it was a crazy game. Like, I think Robbie Gould had like 6 field goals or something like that, but. Pretty cool game. What was your on this date in fantasy history?
The video makes it a lot cooler because it was like I think Matt Stafford was mic'd up. October 27, 2013, so 9 years ago today, Matt Stafford. First off, he throws for a ton of yards. I don't remember the exact yards. I would have to look it up again. But Calvin Johnson, 329 receiving yards. That's effing insane. That is, I added up in only one touchdown. Only one touchdown, but that's still 52 fantasy points for PPR leagues. Matt Stafford, 52.9, so basically 53. Matt Stafford fakes a spike with 29 seconds left. They're going down the field. So they were going down the field, throws a 30-yard bomb. 30 yards. It's a tiny bomb, I guess.
Throws a 30-yard.
1 yard line, no timeouts, like 25 seconds left. Clock is ticking. So he calls the spike. No one else but him knows that he's going to jump over the goal line. And he hikes it and jumps over the goal line with like 15 seconds left. And you can see like the running back. He was kind of cool. Like, you see the running back like Like he was like shocked. He's like, "What's going on?" Oh, you got it! And it was a cool video. I forgot to download. I downloaded it. I was gonna edit it out because it was like a 3-minute clip. I wasn't gonna play all of it. But yeah, classic Matt Stafford moment.
Right on. I like
Yeah.
Stafford moment.
Not to talk over you again, but moving on to the next segment. My betting segment today. I used I think my last so a tip. You have to always test out competition in life. That's the one thing about capitalism. That's supposed to be great. So to do that, I tested out some of those risk-free bets that all these gambling companies have to have. I put like $100. I'll just say it. I don't even care. I put $100 on Mike Evans because first off, my logic is I just traded Mike Evans in my fantasy league, so it's always gonna bite me in the ass, and at least I can hopefully profit off of it. It doesn't have my info on it, does it? It has a receipt number. But yeah, that's my. I think I saw this morning actually that was the most bet on prop all day. I don't know. It's plus 115, so that's more than doubling your money technically. So I don't like that. I don't hate it. He would have had an easy touchdown last week had he caught the ball. Yeah. I think Godwin is coming back more healthy, and I know Godwin's yards prop is like 57, and I think Mike Evans like 51 or something like that. He has a little bit more than Mike Evans, so maybe it's 67 and 50.
So we're going all in on Mike Evans this week.
Yeah, we are rooting for Mike Evans tonight in about an hour. And I guess I have time to change my mind if I want to. I can cash it out. I don't know if that's possible. But Bet Revers Illinois, I think, was the one I used. I don't use any of those. We just list them all off because we don't.
Well, I live in Missouri, which doesn't allow prop bets or any fancy bets. You can do some FanDuel stuff, but fantasy FanDuel stuff, but that's about it. So kind of sad.
I think Mike Evans has won me so much money in the past. I think you could say just because of that, I traded for him in fantasy because I got good value on him.
It's almost a tribute to him as a player.
Exactly. I know. I love to bet on or against players. I love to bet on players I'm facing or against players I have in fantasy because then it's like a double win, or it's like a win-win, or it's a lose-lose. It's glass half full. Yeah, because then if you lose your fantasy game, you could win your bet, and vice versa.
We got something in the chat. We got
last minute. Yeah. Ooh, that's I'll pass that to you, Brian. I think you know more info about both of those players.
So I have Gus Edwards on my team. I would still go with Gus Edwards. I believe JK's definitely out for a little bit longer. And Latavius Murray didn't look good last week. Or not Latavius Murray. Kenyon Drake didn't look that good last week. Or at least he didn't get that many touches to stand out. Right. But I think the Ravens are all in on Gus Edwards. So, and I'm a Bears fan. As much as I love, Khalil Herbert and all these Bears guys, I think last week was kind of a fluke with Khalil Herbert.
Yeah. Montgomery was also running well too. I mean, I think he's looking healthier from what I've seen. I don't watch the Bears every single Bears game.
Right. So I'm just going to gamble on Khalil Herbert doing what he normally does, is play a backup role in a very slow offense. But I would like to see him go off again, but I still think Gus Edwards is going to be the guy.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's what I would have said too, but more context on you. Good question though. Thanks for the question, man. Keep sending them. We have our superlative segment, so our weekly awards. Very exciting stuff. Very meaningful awards, if I say so myself. From our very renowned show. It's on its 4th episode already. Happy 4th episode to you, Brian.
Yeah, happy 4th episode. Cheers.
So first up, we got your award.
So he won the most likely to save your season award. I'm assuming we're doing
Yes.
this one. He won the most likely to save your season award about 2 weeks ago, but he decided to go ahead and make his knee explode on the field. So, ladies and gentlemen, it was fun while it lasted. Award goes to Breece Hall.
Let me through! Let me through! That's my son! This is my boy! My boy!
That was all Breece Hall fantasy owners response.
Rest in peace, Bruce Hall. We'll see you next year, buddy. He's still. I think he's a 3rd round pick at least next year.
Oh, I can see him. I can see him getting shot up to first if
honestly,
there's more injuries or to a first round. Yeah, definitely like low end first round. So
he's still the guy. He just got freak injuries. Happens to at least one good young player every year.
Right. Definitely on track for the rookie of the year, but kind of sad situation.
My first award goes to Jamal Williams for. Yeah, no problem, Carlos. We appreciate you. My award goes to Jamal Williams. I don't know if he assaulted a referee on the field. And it's a tough video to watch, but I just want to give you a little viewer discretion.
Holding.
I'm so proud of him.
Trigger warning.
Trigger warning. Yeah, no, that's just hilarious. I love how his referee friend was like super mad about it, but the guy that got hit in the head was like he was laughing while it happened.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Funny situation
so
there in Detroit. Anyways, the next on the list we have a pair of quarterbacks that are known for their shenanigans in their, on their team to the point where their fans don't know what to do. So let's give it up for Bailey Zappi and Mac Jones with the Just a Couple Knuckleheads Award. Yeah, so you can imagine.
Holding.
I didn't mean to hit that.
So you can imagine, back to what I was saying, you can imagine the Patriots fans are, kind of fed up with this. The grass is always greener situation with their quarterbacks. I think it's kind of fun, coming from a Bears fan, who last year we had Justin Fields, Andy Dalton, Nick Foles on any given Sunday, depending on injury or feel or whatever was happening.
Right.
So I think it's kind of fun. I think it adds a new energy to the game when you have you don't know who's going to start, and you have it in New Orleans right now too, with Andy Dalton and Jameis Winston. So
even too, yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's like I don't know what's going to happen. So I think it's kind of fun. The team sucks, but at least it adds some fun, mix-ups in the game, especially if the other player comes in and wins the game. So,
for sure. I mean, I said it when they drafted him. 4th round pick for a quarterback is not something to overlook. That's right. Like you drafted in 4th round. I think it might have even been 3rd round. Was a 4th round? I know he's projected 5th round, but yeah. I mean, it's not nothing. You hope to get some. I mean, you wouldn't trade for a backup QB for a 4th round. 4th round is like a guy you're willing to take a chance on that you hope that pays off.
Right.
I think they actually. I mean, he didn't look that great towards the end of the game, but I think that. I mean, I think he has more upside than Mac Jones. I think Mac Jones is just a very safe, limited QB. That's maybe a Chad Pennington at most.
Yeah, I was gonna say he kind of is in that same realm.
Right. Spam call. Should I answer the spam call on my phone?
Sure, put it on speakerphone.
No, I don't want to. We're running out of time because you got stuff to do. My last award goes to one Russell Wilson for being the worst. So it's the worst passenger on a commercial air flight award, and I didn't even make anything because Twitter did my job for me today. I'm just gonna play a couple tweets I really fucking liked today.
Let's ride. Let's ride.
Jesus Christ! I love you, God! Damn! I'm true! Jesus Christ!
I said that in the group chat today. I thought Russell Wilson would be literally the worst guy to sit next to on a flight, especially if he's your teammate. Because then he'd be like, "Hey man, I was thinking about the game. It's like, dude, I just want to fucking sleep."
Yeah.
Imagine 8 hours on a flight next to Russell Wilson.
He is. He's so oblivious to the stuff that he does and how it's annoying. It's sad, but it's like I like it. It's fun to have a character like that in the NFL, but it's just like I can't imagine being a team.
He's like the only the NFL's only homeschooled quarterback.
Yeah.
Well, those are our awards. Tune in next week, see what happens. But to our last segment,
probably the best.
We've all been waiting for it. Our most important segment, we have saved to the last, so it gives you guys some reason to watch. We have, and I would never buy time because I actually deleted the slideshow. I'd never be buying time. We have our starts of the week.
All right.
This is last week's. See, I told you got to name them different. That's what I'm telling you. You just name them the same thing.
I get what you're saying. So I understand. So technical difficulty. So last week I didn't change the slideshows. I just used the same slideshow.
See, I clicked this. Okay, I know which one it is this time. I promise. I promise.
It's the same link, but
it's the first one.
Yeah. Let's
see. Here we go. Sorry, guys. Thank you.
Drum roll. Is this it?
Yes.
Boom. Okay.
Boom. So last week.
These were our picks last week. So I actually labeled these, and Johnny had some feedback for me.
Differences of opinion, we'll say that.
But these were our picks last week. I had Johnny had Geno Smith.
Oops. Sorry, Carlos.
And as his starting quarterback pick last week.
Yeah, very It
was an pick. I think he had like 13 points or something.
He had yard. I think he only threw like one touchdown, so that hurt him.
Yeah. Maybe it was like 15 or 16.
They put up points. It's just Kenneth Walker taking all the yards from that offense, man. He's sucking them up. I had an offer in place with with Dan, and I didn't.
Yeah.
Didn't take it. That's okay.
So Johnny had, the rest were pretty good picks, actually, I would say. They weren't amazing, but they were solid. You could get a start out of them. You had Tony Pollard. I don't know what Tony Pollard got last week, but you had Brandon Ayuk. Cade Otton was a big one after, was it Cameron Brate got injured?
Yes.
So he came in.
He was second receiving, I think, to Mike Evans yesterday.
Yeah.
This past week.
Which it's kind of funny to think about how horrible that game was.
Yeah, I don't think he didn't have a single reception in the first half, I think. So I was like, this might be bad for me.
Right. Then you have the Jets D and Rodrigo Blankenship, Hot Rod.
Yeah, I think he missed that extra point. Other than that, a pretty solid game for him. He had 2 field goals in the first half. So.
And then you have me. I was all over the place, but I'm proud of what I had. I had 2 wow players or 2 wow positions picked with Raheem Mostert.
I would argue that Mostert's an obvious start, but I'm not going to give you too much crap there.
Okay. Well, I think now he's definitely an obvious start.
Oh yeah.
Last week he was you probably want to start him, but you're not sure. Like people were asking, would you start him over, Dante?
Yeah, to be fair, we did get someone to ask about. So yeah, to be fair.
Yeah. So I think in hindsight now it's like obviously he's a must moving forward. But I had a really horrible pick with Derek Carr. I want to say he got like 12 points maybe. I'm not sure. But and then Wan'Dale Robinson, I think he got like 4 or 5. I'm not sure. And then Dalton Schultz was a good solid one. He got around what he was projected. And Dolphins D really came through. I think they had like 4 takeaways in that game. And then Young Hoku, I'm always going to pick Young Hoku at kicker, even if he does for us. But
he's at your home. What are you going to say?
Exactly. So those were our picks from last week. So this week we got Mr. Kirk Cousins for Brian for the quarterback. The Kirk Cousins, the nature boy. Kirk, the nature boy Cousins. He's coming out of his bye week. I think Cousins is ready to tear apart this, or Arizona defense with his little buddy Justin Jefferson. I think it's going to be a good week for my boy Kirk.
Yeah, I think coming out of bye weeks definitely was a good thing. I think Justin Jefferson is just going to continue to go off this year. I think he started a little slow, but he's in full throttle. Coming out of bye week, they're going to play Hungary, and they're going to play pedal to the metal because honestly, they're like already 2.5 games above the Packers, and they have a tiebreaker. So, yeah, they're gonna try and see control of this division, and they're gonna hit the gas because they have a lot of momentum.
Right on.
Danny Dimes, on the other hand, I think obviously they just trade Tony, but that doesn't really apply. He wasn't really getting many snaps in this offense anyways. He was hurt, plus dealing with off the field issues with the team not getting along so well. Hence the trade. But Danny Dimes, I think he continuing to heal that ankle. I know you could tell anyone about the ankle injury I suffered due to our pickup basketball game. Okay, I had ankle problems before that. Anyone who's dealt with ankle or honestly any pain in general with like especially the legs, it takes like a bit to kind of get your balance back and get your confidence back. Honestly, it's like a trust issue with your ankle. Like you don't trust. You have to like relax a little bit and just be able to play like without like second guessing yourself. So I think that he's rushed for over 100 yards last game, and I think he's gonna. I picked him up in my waiver wire. He's my start this week in place for Justin Herbert. So hopefully he does well for all of us.
All right, so we have a picture of Brian Robinson.
Bro, why did you add the gun? That's kind of not cool, bro.
No, so because he got shot, Johnny. That's why I added it. B. Robs is my pick for the running back this week. So he's getting plenty of touches. The only problem is Washington is like committing to Gibson.
Yeah, Gibson got a lot of like even in the passing, he got a few catches too.
Yeah, so I mean, well, if luckily for B. Rob's holders, he'll have another chance to run over an easy run defense with Indianapolis on the docket. So, they give up. I think they give up 9th or 10th most fantasy points to running backs. So he was in my flex, and he's no longer in my flex. So
he's in my flex now because
he's in your flex.
My pick is Michael Carter. I think that James Robinson is going to take at least a couple weeks to be fully integrated into this offense. So I think Michael Carter is the guy for now. He didn't look that great last week, but Carter owners, use them while you can. I would say investors like that way better. Use them while you can before he's a waiver wire target.
Right on.
Because I think they traded for James Robinson to at least split carries with him, but I think right now, use him while he's hot.
Well, cool. Why don't we look at our wide receivers of the week? So I picked. This is kind of an interesting one, and I feel free to give me some flack for this, but I picked KJ Osborne. So it's just something in my gut telling me to pick KJ. There's nothing more than that. I'm not going to go pick him up on the waiver since I have a pretty solid lineup, I would say. Maybe I need to. I don't know. I just lost Terry McLaurin in a trade. But if you're needing a boomer bust, plug-and-play guy at flex, consider KJ Osborne, who has 20 targets in his last 4 games and kind of mediocre depth to the Cardinals cornerbacks behind Byron Murphy. So, yeah, I think he could be a big play this week, a boomer bust type of guy.
Yeah, I think that's a good pick. I was looking at him in the waiver wire today. I was thinking about it, but I wasn't going to let you trick me. I have Tyler Boyd. Obviously, big news today about Jamar Chase. He placed on IR. He's going to be out at least a minimum of 4 weeks, at least 3 games. So Tyler Boyd is the guy to get right now. If he is still on your waiver wire in your league, get him right now. Right now. He already had I didn't get the exact numbers because I added him last minute. My other guy, I don't know what he did this, but yeah, he's gonna go off again. Him and T. Higgins are a solid receiver 1, receiver 2 on any other team besides the Bengals or any other team that doesn't have top 5 receiver.
Right.
I don't know what's going on in the chat. You guys need to chill. Tyler Boyd is the guy to go with this week if you need a receiver like me who needs receivers. And I wish you didn't know that. I forgot that he went off last week too because I rushed to the waiver wire as soon as I saw that. I was like, Tyler Boyd, and I was like, oh freak.
Why don't we put some of these guys in the chat? Why don't we put their comments on here and we'll respond to each one?
Okay.
I'm okay with responding to the hate. Does Orange Juice still play as running back?
Like O.J. Simpson.
O.J. Simpson does not.
I think he retired in like the late 80s. I'm not 100% sure though.
And I think he was arrested for stealing his own merchandise. And then he was released. Like he's released and now he's very active on like Instagram and social media.
Big fan of Patrick Mahomes one here.
I have 3 nipples. Let's see some pictures. I mean,
I don't believe you, honestly.
I don't believe that at all. So my doctor won't help me. Okay. Is that after the 3 nipples comment?
Which doctor? That's an important question too. Because you might have one.
And what else do we got? When I was a baby, my dad bet for some hydros and that the Titans would beat the Rams in the Super Bowl. Sorry, I had like a weird dyslexia moment.
1 yard, man. 1 yard.
Yeah.
I thought you said. I mean, he might have had a B instead of beat instead of bet. So I hope that didn't have.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means, but
my dad beat me. Yeah. Okay, so I wasn't reading it wrong.
That's what I saw too. I didn't even see that. Tight ends. Let's talk about tight ends, Brian.
All right, so let's jump right into the tight ends. We got Dawson Knox. By the way, this picture was featured in the Buffalo Bills Instagram post about.
That's where you got it. Yeah.
Their win, and that I saw that, and I didn't.
I just want to call you out for a second because you're not going to trick me.
Okay.
Because you had Evan Ingram, and I picked up Evan Ingram even without seeing that. No, because you dropped him. That's why I picked him up. Because I took a waiver. And then I dropped Dawson Knox to get him. How you put Dawson Knox up there. So I don't care. I don't play your mind games, bro.
Yeah, I will say prayers for Evan. Yes, of course, prayers for Evan. If you were please pray to the Christian God. We already prayed. If you want to go back in the video, we already prayed for Evans.
We prayed to all the gods.
We prayed to the waiver wire gods. I was praying to the Christian God. So and my prayer was that Evan wouldn't do well. So I think mine will come true.
I'm agnostic.
But anyways, yeah, so I do play a mind game with Johnny every time we do these picks. Because I am trying to get him to do things. Like I wanted him to trade for Brian. I made all this stuff about Brian Robinson.
Oh, whatever. I asked you about Brian Robinson a month ago, my guy. A month ago.
I know.
You didn't
I
even
just
want
tried to
him.
reignite that flame in you to get you to trade for him.
No, it's because of how many carries he's getting. That's why I want him.
So if anybody has any thoughts about this,
I think
Mike Williams, who's injured, but Mike Williams for Terry McLaurin and Brian Robinson. That trade straight up. If you have any thoughts about that trade, feel free to put them in the chat. If you don't, whatever. But that was the trade, basically. I gave up Terry McLaurin and Brian Robinson for Mike Williams straight up. I'll let you all be the judge. But
talk about Tyler Higbee, actually.
Yeah, let's go into Tyler Higbee.
Tyler Higbee's actually been a very big piece of this Rams. Not so great offense, but he has been a big piece. Matt Stafford loves his wide receivers. We know that. With a new slot receiver, number 18, can never pronounce his name. Tyler Higbee and Cooper Kupp. And he doesn't like Allen Robinson. I wonder what it is. Is Matt Stafford racist? Let us know in the chat. I'm not saying he is. I'm just wondering if he is.
Let's just point to the facts. How many targets does he give white receivers? Not wide receivers. White receivers. WHITE.
White receivers. That's what
we'll have to go do some research and come back next week with that number. I'm sure we can find it, but
we could probably find a number. Yeah.
Yeah, and then compare it to top 10 quarterbacks, so we don't have to look all 32. But
has no place in the game, Brian. No place for it.
He's the new Tom Brady, basically. But, okay.
Tyler Higbee's getting targets, and honestly, the logic I have of me having Henderson and Kupp on my team, Higbee's going to get the touchdown this week. So
good.
Big D and feet picks of the week. Why'd you pick the bobbleheads, man? You can tell who those people are.
Well, that was because I wanted a Young Hoku bobblehead, and
you wanted one?
I wanted one.
Oh.
And then I saw that, and I was like, "Oh, that would be kind of a cool pick for Big D and feet picks of the week. And then I was like, oh, let's make it match with Evan McPherson. And so I picked that one up. So I picked the Indianapolis defense and the Colts at home versus the Commanders. And then I picked Young Hoku. I'm never not going to pick Mr. Cootie.
Exactly.
I don't really want to get into details because I don't really care about having defensive or kickers in fantasy teams. But
I'll talk about the Titans for a brief second. I know you got to get out of here soon. They're playing the Texans, who are a very stagnant offense. They have Damian Pierce, and that's about it. They have a lot of momentum. This defense, they might have just ended Matt Ryan's career last week. So I like the Titans.
Good.
Vrabel should be a Hall of Fame linebacker, maybe.
Interesting. Well, why don't we just jump right into our final segment, which is our favorite fantasy football names.
Our favorite last segment of the episode.
The fantasy names of the week.
It's not even a good name. You put Gus Bus on there every freaking week.
I didn't put it last week.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't.
You put it there the first week then. No, you didn't.
No, I didn't. Never. I put
Gus
first.
Bus. We got Gus Bus. We got you didn't even put mine on there either. The one that you supposedly liked.
What are you talking about?
You won't even know. You don't even know. Like you don't. You know.
I didn't touch it. This is you clicked on the link. The presentation's all the same. Anyways.
No, you just didn't add it. I added it to the notes and you didn't add it. That's all I'm saying.
I thought you would have added it because you added the picture of Tyler Boyd.
I didn't have time to think about it.
Okay. So
I just noticed you didn't add it, and I didn't want to rearrange the thing because it looks like you're running out of space there at the bottom.
All right, so we have Gus Bus, solid name. You know, I stole it from my friend Tom, who had him last year and never changed his name because he doesn't pay attention to his fantasy settings. Now I'm Gus Bus 2.0. He knows when you are sleeping. That's a reference to Santa Claus.
You should have waited till December to use that name.
Yeah, well, he wasn't relevant. He won't be relevant in December. Wow, the bickering is great content. Thanks, Mike.
We're here for Mike. Maddie, ice your shoulder.
Ice your shoulder. Maddie, comma, ice your shoulder, like Maddie Ice. Maddie, ice your shoulder. I thought it was a good one because he's getting benched for Sam Bellinger, whatever his name is, because he can't throw very far because his shoulder's deteriorating.
No B.
Ellinger?
Yeah, EHL.
Where am I getting B from?
You're thinking of Bellinger, either the guy on the Dodgers or the guy on the Giants that got his eye poked out.
Holy.
Next one is Reston Brees. That one goes out to Evan.
Good job, Evan. That was a great one.
Mar-a-Lago. I don't know who got that. That's a good one, though.
That was off of a Facebook.
I was going to guess. Kind of like some boomer had to think about that.
And then Favre's Family Assistance Fund.
That's funny. It's just I haven't used. I mean, Favre's been out of the game for 2 years. And it's still funny though.
Yeah, if I was looking at all these, I think Reston Brees is probably my favorite. Jamar Lago, it's pretty good.
I like Matty Ice. Whoever had
Matty
that
Ice
one.
Your Shoulder, that's a pretty good one. I came up with that one. No big
You
deal.
did? Okay.
Yeah, that was
I like the other ones better than. I like Jamar Lago.
Screw you, Johnny. We have to get more bickering content. Mike likes it. Well, that's it for that week. The week, I guess.
Yeah, we ended pretty quick this week. But that's all right because you have other plans. You're better than us. You don't need to. You're not even going to watch the football game tonight. You don't even care about.
I'll have it in the background.
Playing his last Thursday night football game, maybe.
I'm in grad school online, and we have a video lecture tonight. So I'm watching the video lecture, and I'm watching
while you watch the game. So that's a good commentary. I mean, they should like lecture people while they call the game.
Right. Well, thank you for being with us, and thank you for being in fellowship with us while we pray to the fantasy waiver gods.
You say thank you to our audience. I'm gonna say sorry to our audience. That's what I'm gonna do.
Oh,
sorry for watching us.
Sorry for watching this.
Thank you.
Last minute, one last comment was Miller, gross. Okay.
I'm at the very bottom, but I'm still gonna drink it just for you. The bottom is kind of gross of every beer.
We'll see you guys
All
later.
right, guys. We thank you for coming out. We hope you have a great night. Enjoy the Thursday night football game. And once again, I'm Johnny Barks.
And I'm Brian Burgers. We'll see you next week.
And you've been sidelined by the second strings.
We're still trying to figure this end part out.
Yeah, we don't have our branding set 100% yet. Come back next week.
Bye-bye.
Thursdays at 6:30.